On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass. We ballin' no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got some dough.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Bravon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? You know what's going down today, bruh. So you know what? Guess what? Music, turn it off, turn it all the way off. Now, yeah, how's everybody doing? All right. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Bravon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. That there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful week. We are now in December. It is almost 2000 to the 2-4. We got less than a month left. Now, again, if you guys got my PSA from a couple days ago, we are going to be doing the whole Full Sail episodes on live on the Bravon Towns channel until we get enough subs on the Sports Plus Life channel to where we can transfer it over there. But until then, I still want to put some form of content on this new channel. So this is more or less of a Sports Plus Life talking-ish, even though we did have the theme song, because I would like to still keep the theme song relevant until I create a new one, which will be very, very soon. Now, we're going to jump right in to what we did yesterday on the live on the post-game show, which was hilarious. And speaking of hilarious, I got Brother Calvin here with me. What up, homie?
What's going on?
You funny bastard. You a hilarious ass dude, bruh.
I ain't do nothing. If you listen to the podcast, you know that was coming.
If you listen to the post game show, first of all, when we were talking about Denver versus Houston, he referred to C.J. Stroud as the nigga from B2K. I lost my shit there. He caught me off guard. And then when we finally got into the discussion of Philly versus San Francisco, he played Mary J. Blige, I'm Not Gonna Cry, before Sean started talking. Another very hilarious moment. But we're talking straight up football. And I've been thinking about this, watching these shows, watching these sports shows, bro. It went exactly how I thought it would go. Everybody now has automatically taken the stance of, see, if Brock Purdy had been healthy, then the Eagles would have lost then in the NFC Championship game. And quick announcement, the Philadelphia Eagles, in response to their loss, have signed linebacker Shaq Leonard, who just got who was surprisingly released by the Colts. They just signed Shaq Leonard today. He chose the Eagles over the Cowboys. How about that? So, Calvin, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they've been doing that for 2 years. Every time they lose a certain way, they go bolster up where they think they're weak. They said it last year when Washington, I think it was Washington, ran down their throat, and they went and got Sue and all them other niggas and all that, you know. So that's what they do. I mean, that's cool. If they feel like it's gonna help them, I mean, hey, shout out to them. But you made a statement like you made a statement as far as like all the people on TV are saying this as if it's not fucking true. That's like saying, oh, if the house was on fire and we just threw a little bit of water, it might have just kind of went out. Like, well, yeah, it's fucking true. It's true. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy to say if you knock that quarterback out and win by 24, and they keep their quarterback and you keep yours and win by 23, then I mean,
they won 42-19. They won by 23 points. Yeah.
Yeah, they won by 27. I counted before I got on here. Yeah, it's true. It's not conjecture. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to debate. It happened, and that's what the verdict is until y'all see them again, and if y'all do beat them, you know what I'm saying? But I've been telling you for a minute that team scares people. People they are bullies. People get scared of them and don't want to run the ball and think they can out-scheme. And if you got a team if you can run the ball, that's what the 49ers said. They did. They said, "Fuck, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run the ball and get you out your comfort zone because you playing pass, y'all almost y'all pass. If y'all playing, y'all looking pass, y'all are like almost unstoppable. But if we stop them boys from running up field so fast, we got it. You know what I'm saying? We got it. That's what they did, and that might be everybody. Like I said, it's a league of tape. Everybody gonna look at that tape now. Everybody ain't got McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? But people are definitely gonna be looking at that tape. And let me ask you this: in the second quarter, when it was like 4th and 1, and the 49ers went for it, do you call that the Brock Rock?
I don't know.
That's called the Brock Rock. And forgive me, you know what I'm saying, and this is not my team, but y'all understand, this is December?
Yeah.
I had to deal with 10 months of ridicule. Saying that people were telling me I ain't know what the fuck I was talking about and all this shit. So, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it for the next time they see them. You know what I'm saying? So, I told y'all. I told y'all. I told y'all about the 49ers. Oh, Trey Lance couldn't even beat Purdy in the out for the job. Ain't no way he would have been. No, you got that right. He would have been able to beat Purdy. That boy that won two playoff games last year and then go and went undefeated in every start. How the fuck you gonna beat him? No, that boy ball. That boy ball now. And don't get me not taking nothing from Hurt. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's living Dak Prescott. That's right. He's the Ebony Magazine Athlete of the Year. He's him. So,
yeah.
But Purdy ball too. And to say that we would have did the same thing had he been playing, that was unfair. That was reckless. That was irresponsible. And in the end, we reached what we said. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, now, I said this on the post-game show last week, and you weren't on there. It was Sean and Marquise. I'm going to revisit this today, and I will revisit this tomorrow, and I think the Eagles should really consider this, and Eagles fans should want to consider this. Yeah, you just got Shaq Leonard, but Marcus Peters is available. You need, especially, you see now what the 49ers can do to you with the weapons that they have. Darius Slay and Bradbury by themselves, even Byard, ain't enough. At least it wasn't enough for yesterday. Marcus Peters is available. He's a better cornerback at this point in his career than Bradley Roby is. Just calling a spade a spade. I love Bradley Roby. He was on my 2015 Super Bowl squad. Marcus Peters is better. They should really look into getting that because you saw the way the 49ers geared up with getting Chase Young and Randy Gregory, even though they had no impact yesterday. You have to crew up too. You have to crew up too because this should be a wake-up call for the Philadelphia Eagles because you got your ass whipped, period. You got your ASS whipped thoroughly.
Yeah.
And you need to address that.
Yeah, well, I think they did that with I think that was a shot in the dark with the Leonard I don't say shot in the dark because it's not like they don't have the people to do it. But Marcus Peters don't help with run support. So I can see, that was what that was is you couldn't stop the run. Certain plays and certain coverages do certain different stuff. And you used to probably a man cover 2 or some type of man or some type of cover 3, and you only rushing 4. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, they can rush 4 and get to the quarterback on pass plays 24/7. 4 people don't stop. Y'all not built to stop the run with just 4 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those linebackers have to be able to. Those linebackers got to be able to read those keys and whatever. And they got to read their keys and get off when they got to get off. And if they not used to doing that because they haven't did it, they really haven't had to do it all year. They haven't had to do this shit all year.
Right. Well, schematically, I mean, after the first quarter was over, schematically, it was a one-sided ass whooping.
Hey,
I'm not anti-San Francisco 49ers. I have rode with the Philadelphia Eagles all season. I'm going to continue to do so. But I'm not anti-49ers. I don't hate the 49ers. I'm anti-Cowboys. So whoever the fuck can get Dallas the fuck out the way, hoorah, hoorah.
how the fuck you get in here?
No, I'm just saying because at the way that they played yesterday, and I told you this before we started recording, I think their victory yesterday was more impressive than what they did to Dallas on Sunday Night Football because that was a road game. They were in Philadelphia. You know, they returned to the scene of the crime, and who knows? They may have to go back to Philadelphia for an NFC championship game. It's very, or, you know, because there's still 5 weeks of football left, anything could play out. Anything could play out. I mean, there's still a chance that the Cowboys could have home field advantage throughout. But only thing I'm going to say is this. I don't think home field doesn't matter to the 49ers. I really don't think it matters to them.
I tell you, I bet you one thing for sure, 2 plays for sure, and I bet you come Sunday afternoon, evening or night, or whenever they play, I bet you Dallas run the ball a whole lot more than they run.
They play next Sunday night. We'll be doing the post-game show when that game starts. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to work that out because I know Sean is not going to be as invested, and understandably so, because his team will be playing. So I'm trying to figure out how to work that out. We may start at 7:30 next Sunday. I don't know, huh?
Them niggas ain't got TVs?
Of course they have TV.
Okay, so they couldn't be on the phone and while the game is on?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing that with the Sunday night game last night.
Oh.
Well, speaking of the 49ers, and I can't say anything bad about the 49ers today. Nothing. I mean, like I said, I've never spoken bad about the 49ers. I just pointed out when they're not healthy, you know, they're a different team. But that's for any team in the NFL. If you down your best weapons, you're not going to look the same. I just don't know if Brock Purdy, the only critique I would have on Brock Purdy is that when his weapons aren't available, can you will your team to victory? I don't know that. But if they're healthy, we know what they are.
You could say that about any quarterback in the league.
You're right. You're right. You could.
Okay.
So as of right now, the 49ers got it, bro. They got it.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sit here and argue that. If they have to come back to Philadelphia for an NFC championship game, they will come back with all of the confidence in the world, and they will be favored again to beat Philadelphia. They will be favored. And they were just favored by 3 to win this game. If it's an NFC championship game in Philadelphia between the 49ers and the Eagles again, the 49ers will be favored probably by 7 this time. Go ahead.
Cool, because check this out. Right, you said the Chiefs. The only reason why the Chiefs beat you in the Super Bowl is because of the grass and shit. You played on grass, and if it weren't for the Chiefs receivers, probably would have beat you. You said if Brock was playing, y'all still would have beat the people. Brock was playing, and he beat you. Now that's all done. Next game this week is a must-win for them because if Dallas beat you, you open up a lot of questions.
Yeah. Now, there are a couple of things. Again, I'm not going to make any excuse for the Eagles, or am I going to talk bad about the 49ers? There were a couple. Now, the 49ers were coming off a 10 days rest. The last time they played was Thanksgiving. That's nobody's fault. The Eagles knew the schedule. The 49ers, they all knew the schedule before the shit happened. I give the Eagles credit for going through this slew of games, murderers row, and only losing 1 game. Now, if should they meet in the NFC Championship game, there will still be pretty much the same amount of rest. One team will play on Saturday before, the other team will play on the Sunday before. Just depends on how the schedule falls. But I would like to see them play again with both teams fully healthy, because man, Eagles 49ers rematch. It would, if that was to happen again, we would have to wait another 8 weeks. We'd have to wait. They
weren't healthy last night?
No, I'm saying I would like to see both of them completely healthy again with the same amount of rest. Okay. 49ers did what they came in there to do. They beat the shit out of Philadelphia. They punked him. They beat him in every way, shape, or form. Even the goddamn security guard couldn't help him out.
Yeah, that was, and I was thinking, the 49 the ref. But no, that dude, he was trying to do one of those. I ain't hit him. All I did was this, man. You knew what you was doing. There was nobody behind him. You trying to act like you was pointing behind somebody, just pointing to the dude behind him. There was nobody behind him. And it was,
you talking about Greenlaw?
For real. That was, you was doing, brother. And you tried to, the old rope of dope. But
I don't think he'll get suspended for him. I really don't even think he should have been thrown out of the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll be suspended for it. But when that happened, at the time of the game when that happened, I was like, they didn't poke the bear, and then Philadelphia went and scored a touchdown. But the 49ers answered. They said, okay. I mean, think about this, Calvin. They had already got their number. The 49ers' first 2 possessions they punted. They scored touchdowns on their next 6 possessions. Not just scored touchdowns on their next 6 possessions.
Yeah. And that was in the second quarter?
Yes, that started in the second quarter.
Okay. I'm telling you, had that stuff had it happened in the first quarter, that'd have been all Philadelphia needed. But I'm gonna tell you, what I'm really curious about is how they respond.
Who, Philly?
Because you've been playing football all year. You know what I'm saying? And you had one little. Let me see, because they who the other team they lost? Who the other team?
The Jets. They lost to the Jets.
And what was the score?
They lost by. It was close.
It was a competitive game.
It was a very close game.
It was a competitive game. So
I think they lost by like 6 points. They lost by like 6 points.
Yeah, so you've been playing championship caliber football all year. I want to see how they respond to this. You know what I'm saying? Because and you're a Boxer fan, you're a Rocky fan. What they say, it's not how you get hit, it's how you get up off the mat.
Yeah, it's about how about how much you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Right. Yeah.
How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Because I'm telling you, and I stand by what I said last night. They all year maybe the Jets. But on the only 2 games they lost, they didn't. The only time they encountered a team that wanted us as much as they did, as long as they did.
Stupidity lost them that game to the New York Jets. They were just flat out dominated yesterday. Stupidity lost that game against the Jets. They were just flat out beat and destroyed yesterday.
Yeah, well.
I mean, a loss is a loss. No matter how you get it, it's still a loss. But if you want to compare and contrast both losses, they made a dumb call on a 3rd and long when they should have ran the ball. The Jets had no timeouts. They could have milked the clock down to under a minute. Pooch kicked it and started Zach Wilson with less than a minute to go, no timeouts to get in field goal position. But instead, they threw the ball, it got intercepted, and damn near run back for a touchdown. Then they did score a touchdown, and it was maybe 20 seconds left after that. Stupidity lost that game.
Yeah.
Now, the 49ers just beat the fuck out of them yesterday. Beat the fuck out of them. But again, like you said, you wanted to do the Rocky reference. I've called the Eagles the most battle-tested team in the league all season. I will stand on it.
Yeah.
You have to get up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, but here's the crazy thing about it. They can lose next week to the...
And even though they got their ass beat, they didn't roll over. They still was...
No, they didn't roll over.
They
No, go ahead.
No, they didn't roll... No, I'm sorry. I'm saying they didn't roll over. They still was... They were still they weren't just even it down the field. They were still okay. Well, I mean, I know this sounds crazy. Okay, we're only down
by 28.
Score real quick. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But that's why I said yesterday on the post-game show, Jalen Hurts finishing that game was people don't realize how important that was. Because when Mariota came in the game, you almost feel like the 49ers were saying, ha-ha, our quarterback couldn't finish the game when we played in January. Your quarterback ain't finishing today.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Hurts coming back on the field was much. And then not only coming back on the field to lead them to another touchdown, even though the matter had already been decided.
Yeah.
I think for their psyche, they needed that.
They didn't give him the thing. And I guarantee you that was 100% beyond the shadow of doubt his call. The way he's played all year,
no question.
That. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me see. Who can I name? Fucking the boy Ritter from
Desmond
Atlanta.
Ritter. Desmond Ritter.
Oh, he would have been in concussion protocol, and they was down by 4 scores. Oh, nigga, you coming out the game? Fuck
Yeah, no question.
everything you think about. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
But he's earned that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And but and the reason and what makes this so big, what makes this anthill a mountain, is because they have been the best team in football all year, and the way is not just that they lost, is how they lost. You know what I'm saying? And this game has implications, playoff championship implications. Like basically, whoever win the next time them two teams is probably going to the Super Bowl. So that's why we stand here.
Right.
And I understand it.
Now, again, as of right now, the 49ers got it. It's still 5 more weeks of football left to be played. Again, the Eagles could lose on Sunday and still win their division because the gauntlet that they just went through, now the Cowboys have to go through it following the Eagles game. So,
oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Because the Cowboys have a very, 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 very tough schedule coming up where they have to see the Eagles, the Bills, and the Dolphins. And speaking of the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins are right now, with Kansas City's loss last night, the Miami Dolphins, as of this moment, stand alone as the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, I've held the Dolphins to the same tier as the Cowboys of who the hell have you beat to get your record so fat. But, and I'm not trying to make exceptions because I hate the Cowboys, I'm looking at the situations. If the Dolphins can get fat off of beating bad opponents and somehow find their way to the number 1 seed in the AFC, then who cares? See, the Cowboys, even if they win the division, if they finish if they finish their season with the same record as San Francisco, well, San Francisco beat them head to head. So guess who gets the number 1 seed? It'll be the 49ers. If you are the Dolphins, huh?
I'm agreeing with you. I get it.
If you are the Dolphins, and again, you're eventually. I mean, I can look. There are 2 games. Now, and this is one thing where let me veer back for a second. This is one thing that I'll give the Philadelphia Eagles a break on as far as the way they got handled yesterday. Doesn't take away from anything that the 49ers did. For the last 3 weeks, the Philadelphia Eagles have played in what was built up to be the biggest game of the season. It was the biggest game of the season when they played Dallas. It was the biggest game of the season Super Bowl rematch when they played Kansas City. It was the biggest game of the season yesterday against the 49ers. Mm-hmm. So eventually, eventually you're going to lose one of them. Not to take anything away from the 49ers. But now there are 2 games that I am looking forward to in this season that do not involve the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, the 2 biggest games of the season for me is going to be when the 49ers and Baltimore play, head knocker, and when Miami and Dallas square off. Those 2 games I want to see. And if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, maybe you can exhale now and say, you know what? We done got through all of this shit, and even if we lose to Dallas, at worst we'll still be 10-3. Now we have to play the Giants twice, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. If anything, what happened last night might have woke some people up.
Yeah, you're like, okay, now whatever. You know, now let's, whatever. But there's that team in South Florida, and now with the MVP, you know what? Because at the beginning of the season, I said Tua would win the MVP, and that still may happen. But the MVP race has been flip-flopping every week. Now they're saying the lead candidates is Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. You know who should be the motherfucking MVP? Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to tell you why.
Fuck out of here.
I will tell you why. Not only is Tyreek Hill on pace to get 2,000 yards, that would be the first time in NFL history. You've actually seen, this is how valuable he is. You have seen.
Alvin Johnson didn't get 2,000 yards?
No, he didn't. He got 1,900. No, he didn't. No receiver's ever gotten 2,000 yards. You have literally seen the balance of power in the AFC shift because that one player went to that team. Now I know you can say, well, Kansas City just won the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. Well, didn't Barry Switzer win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Johnson's team? Didn't John Gruden win a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team? Hell, we love Mike Tomlin. But didn't Mike Tomlin win a Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's team?
No, listen, you watch your mouth off the motherfucking pipe. It's not, okay? He willed that team. He know the fuck he didn't. Because that same thing, and the difference between Bill Cowher and between Mike Tomlin and fucking Barry Switzer is the team came off a fucking Super Bowl or some shit. They were still competitive the year after.
Same players, bro. Same players, bro.
Bill Cowher fucking left. The last year Bill Cowher left, what was the Steelers record?
10-6.
It was 10. They went on fucking. It was 10-6.
Oh no, you talking about Bill Cowher's last year in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I think they were like 6-10, 7-9. They didn't make the playoffs as defending Super Bowl champions.
Thank you, cuz.
But the same players were there. Ben was there. Hines Ward was there. Ryan Clark, Palomalu, Ike Taylor, Harrison. They were all still there.
They were there when they went 6-10.
You're right. I'm not saying. Look, listen. I'm not saying that Mike Tomlin's DNA won't all over that Super Bowl. But what I'm saying is, but they were still a lot of players left over from when Cowher won the Super Bowl. I mean, it was just 3 years apart. Just like Barry Switzer.
I understand that, but you're comparing the dynasty Dallas Cowboys to that, and that's not the same thing. They were still like that, like when Jimmy Johnson left a team, he left a Super Bowl team.
Look. No, you're right. No, you're right about that. But hold on, because we're getting off topic. You're taking me away from my point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is Kansas City won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, but now you're starting to see the product get less and less and less. And all of a sudden, Miami is right now, the best team in the AFC. Tyreek Hill is the best receiver in the NFL by far. Everybody was questioning. Everybody thought that Tyreek Hill, at the beginning of last season, his first with Miami, everybody thought that he was just blowing smoke up to his ass because he was the new player. That's his new quarterback. But Tua hasn't disappointed one bit.
Brandon.
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
LeVar Towns. Let me tell you something.
First of all, that's not my fucking middle name.
Yes, it is today.
All right. Calvin Rashid Jeffers.
That's cool. You know the best thing happened to Tyreek Hill?
I think he should be MVP.
You know how hard it is to game plan for two, not one, but not two, but three wide receivers that run 4.34, and then have a running back that runs almost as fast. Do you understand how hard it is to game plan the scheme? There's only so much you can run.
I get it. But what does that have to do with him not? What does that have to do? What does that not have to do with him being MVP?
Let me finish, because your point was the Chiefs won the Super Bowl without. You try to compare Tyreek Hill to Jimmy Johnson and to Bill Cowher, and that ain't the case. I'm trying to tell you that it's the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Because they not only did they win another Super Bowl, they had went to one. You know what I'm saying? They
didn't go to another Super Bowl without him.
They just won one.
They just won one, yes. But I'm just saying, like they went to 2 Super Bowls with Tyreek Hill, won one, lost one, and then they just won last year without Tyreek Hill. Right.
So you mean to tell me if you were starting an NFL franchise and you had to pick between Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, you going with Tyreek Hill?
I didn't say no. I did not say start an NFL franchise. I said most valuable player of this season. Don't take it to where I didn't take it there. I said most valuable player of this season. If Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 yards and we are seeing something that has never been done before, he should not just win offensive player of the year. He should win most valuable player of the year.
I can dig it. I'm just saying that his production is a byproduct of the people he have around him, because you can only scheme by so much.
You know, I heard something today.
Who was the
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who was the last running back? Like, okay, when Calvin Johnson had 1,900 yards, who was the MVP that year?
Well, I got to know what season it was. If you tell me what season it was, I could tell you who was the MVP.
I give you a hint. Was it him?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, the running back.
The Lions were terrible, though. The Lions were terrible.
Oh, okay. No, let me finish though. When CJ2K had 2,000 yards, he was the last running back to do it.
No, he wasn't. Derrick Henry was.
Who? Okay, so who was the MVP that year?
When Derrick Henry went for over 2,000?
Yeah, was it him? Yeah. Was it him?
No, it wasn't him. I think it was Mahomes.
Okay, all right. The Super Bowl, the NFL MVP this year is Jalen Hurts. All that other shit.
Not now. Not off of yesterday. Not now.
Okay.
Not now.
Okay. I will bet you $1.45. And the reason why I'm betting that because you cheap as a motherfucker.
What?
That's my money, Brandon.
Okay, now look, listen. Okay, now I'm gonna answer your question, right? The year Calvin, I don't give a fuck how cheap you say I am, nigga. Calvin Johnson went over.
Don't confuse broke with cheap. I never said you was broke. I just said you have a pocket full of money. The nigga
I wish I did have a pocket full of money right now. Anyway, let me answer your question. Calvin Johnson went for 1,964 yards. You think a quarterback won the MVP that year?
It wasn't him, though.
No, it wasn't him. But do you know why? Because
Who was it?
It was the last year that a non-quarterback won the MVP. It was 2012. Adrian Peterson, who ran for over 2,000 yards, won MVP.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll wear that one. But let's say, Tyree, you say he's on pace for 2,000 yards. How many? What if he don't reach it? Do you still make him MVP candidate? Because that's obviously the magic number.
No, I think that he will. I think that he has to get 2,000 yards because clearly, listen to what I just said before you asked that question. The last time a non-quarterback won the MVP was 11 years ago. Adrian Peterson, and he had to be phenomenal. And I think a lot of that, because remember, a lot of people thought that Peyton Manning should have won that. It was Peyton Manning and Adrian Peterson's comeback season off of major injuries. Peyton Manning, we were 13-3, best record in the league. But Adrian Peterson put the Vikings on his back. Christian Ponder was their quarterback. And he was within just a few yards of breaking the all-time single season held by Eric Dickerson. I think a wide receiver hasn't gotten the MVP vote since Randy Moss's rookie year in 98. I think that if Tyreek Hill is to win MVP, I think he has to go over 2,000. And here's the crazy thing about it. Yeah. Tyreek Hill has been hurt this whole season. Did you know that?
I was about to speculate. I was about to ask that too. So think about this. You say he's on pace for 2,000 yards. That means he's been having a pretty good season. Hurt or not, he's been having a good season, and the records show that. Now let's say the injury that's lingering starts to fester, and he don't make 2,000 yards. And if he don't make 2,000 yards, that means he's not been as productive in the last couple of games or whatever. And if he's not as productive, then the record is not what it was, and the record suffers. So, with that being said, do he still get MVP?
No, I think the only way he wins MVP is if he gets 2,000 yards.
He only gets 2,000 yards, regardless of the record or whatever.
Well, I mean, I think it's icing on the cake if the Dolphins finish top 2 in the AFC, which is likely. I mean, it's very possible. Yeah, anywhere between one and 3 is guaranteed. 1 through 3 is guaranteed. No, it's not. It's not guaranteed. I tell you, no, it's not. It's not guaranteed.
You don't think so?
No, because all the 4 first place teams coming into this week, the 4 first place teams in the AFC all had the same record. Well, with the exception of Baltimore, who had a bye week. But the Chiefs were 8-3, the Jaguars were 8-3, Miami was 8-3. So I will
make this.
Go ahead.
Worth your while, brother. I will bet you $1.75.
Oh, you raised it 30 cents, huh?
That they fit. Yeah, so that they not nigga, that's 40, I believe.
You said $1.45 at first.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. See, you see how quick you counted them pennies? Yeah, quick you carry that shit.
You motherfucking right, nigga. Give
But
me my
I
money.
mean, I'm just fucking with you. But
No, I know. I'm you know, I'm gonna fuck with you right back. Give me my money, nigga.
yeah, but I just the way Hurst has been playing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, and for real, the only people that really know about his record, know about him being on pace, is probably him, the niggas in the league, the niggas on TV, and you. Don't nobody else know that shit. You know what I'm saying? But everybody know how Jalen Hurts been playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, like, I just don't see y'all. I just don't see them taking it away from
Let me give you. No, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
he would have to come in and stake it up. And even though they lost it, they lost last night. The way he would stake it up for real. It wasn't like he had a Flacco game or.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I'm just Vegas odds now. You know, coming into yesterday's game, Hurts was the front runner. Now the front runner is Purdy. It flips week by week. Matter of fact, Hurts is falling to third. I told you, behind Purdy and Dak. But I mean, I'm making a Tyreek Hill case. Let me give you Miami's final 3 games. Versus Dallas, at home against Dallas, at Baltimore, home to Buffalo. Let Tua and Tyreek Hill go the fuck off in those games.
Against Dallas,
Baltimore, and Buffalo.
Against them, you want him to go? Okay. So you saying if he go off against some things, not
Yeah.
he will, but if he was the man to go off against some things.
Yeah.
I understand that because those some good.
Yeah. Especially the Baltimore game, because that game could determine who's going to be number 1 in the AFC.
Yeah, that's some good defense right there. Especially that Dallas game, that secondary.
Well, let me tell you something. Deron Bland showed me something on Thursday. He can be had. I told this to Skip. I told this to Tony. He asked about Deron Bland. I said, well, discipline-wise, he actually plays cornerback more disciplined than Trayvon Diggs does. Until, and this was before they played Seattle, until he played a top-flight wide receiver. DK Metcalf ate his lunch.
Well, that's DK.
I don't care. And DK ain't as fast as Tyreek.
You don't have to be. You see, it's not always about speed all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about speed.
I can't wait to see that matchup.
Yeah, like, I mean, somebody like DK don't even really have to lead the line of scrimmage. He just put his hands up. DK, what AJ Brown is doing, DK is for DK, whatever the fuck the nigga name is. He's supposed. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have. You know what I'm saying? He comes from that lineage, from that prototype, that TO.
That TO body type. Yeah.
That long lineage of TO body type. You know the Julio Jones and the fucking
Calvin Johnson. Well, no, Calvin Johnson was a little taller and lankier.
But ain't nobody. But you saying Tyreek Hill, he ain't as fast as Tyreek Hill. Ain't nobody as fast as Tyreek.
Exactly my point. So Deron Bland can try to gamble if he wants to, but you don't have to play him to gamble. Tyreek Hill's just gonna run right past him. Cause you're damn sure not gonna put Gilmore on Tyreek Hill. Gilmore gonna have to deal with Waddle. I can't wait for that matchup. That's Christmas Eve, bro.
Yeah, you're dealing with a lot of 2D safeties like that. That's gonna be they're gonna run it. It's gonna look for them. Look for them to run the fucking ball as best they can.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fight to the finish. It's gonna be a fight to the finish for the AFC.
Yeah, because your corner's not as fast. Your corners can't. You don't have the speed or youth and corners to stick with them boys.
Baltimore has a murderer's row too, actually. If you look at it, they got the Rams on Sunday, which the Rams are coming to Baltimore. No, they're gonna beat the fuck out the Rams. I know what they do to NFC team. I know what they do to NFC teams who come to Baltimore. They're gonna beat the shit out the Rams. But then they at Jacksonville, at San Francisco, and then home to Miami. And they finish off with Pittsburgh. Yeah, they gonna murder the Rams. They gonna murder them. But after that, boy, it's tough sledding. So the race to the AFC is gonna be something. It's gonna be something.
Yeah, we right. I know it's 5 games left, but you in a good series, like on an HBO series, when it be like at the end of the game, at the end of the show, it be like 3 episodes left. That's where we at right now.
Yeah.
In the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So because 3 episodes is the first episode, the regular season, how it's gonna shake out. Second episode is the playoffs, and then the third and final episode is the Pro Bowl. No, I'm joking.
Man, please. I was going to say, what?
They don't even have a Pro Bowl no more. I turned the TV on. It said Pro Bowl one time. I turned the TV on. These niggas was playing football.
Yep.
So this can't be fucking Pro Bowl.
Yep.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yep.
That shit ridiculous. That shit is crazy. But oh well. I mean, hey.
But yeah, this is Murderers Row for Dallas too. At Philadelphia, home to Philly, at Buffalo, at Miami, home to Detroit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's getting kind of hectic.
It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting yes sir. Yeah. I just wanted to shoot the shit with you, bro. I wanted to shoot the shit with you, bro. So tomorrow, man. I'll say around like I'll say about let's say 7:15.
Okay, all right.
7:15?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. See you then.
All right.
Boy, I tell you, the NFL season is gonna be a grand finale finish. Let me quickly veer over to college football. The college football playoffs have been selected. They were selected around noon yesterday, where we had some upsets that happened. And really the main upset was Alabama beating Georgia. Alabama was 11-1. Georgia was 12-0. People were wondering how the committee was going to select. So here's the top 4 teams. Number 1, Michigan. Beating Ohio State 2 weeks ago, beating Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. Number 1. Number 2, Washington. Washington winning the Pac-12. Number 3, Texas. Winning the Big 12 or whatever. Winning the Big 12. Texas. They had 1 loss. But they also beat Alabama during the season. And 4th was Alabama. What does that mean? For one, I fucking hate Alabama. I did not want to see them make the playoffs. But did the committee get the best 4 teams? I guess. What does this mean? Georgia's reign as national champions is over. They had won the last 2. They were undefeated, number 1 in the country, coming into Saturday's SEC championship game. I don't feel sorry for Georgia because you just had 1 job, beat Alabama. That was your 1 job, and you'll get a chance to three-peat. So, oh well. Florida State is the team that everybody's heart is going out to today because they were undefeated. They went undefeated. They were ranked 4th in the country. They were undefeated. They won the ACC. We all know that 3 weeks ago they lost their starting quarterback to a broken leg, and that started the question, well, if Florida State finishes undefeated, do you still put them in? Because are they the best 4 teams? Blah, 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 blah. I feel bad for Florida State. I really, really do. I feel bad for Florida State because they did everything that they were supposed to do, and they still got snubbed. Unfortunately, part of the game, unfortunately. Now, this is the last year of the 4-team college playoff format. They will be going to 12 teams starting next year, which makes more sense because then you don't have to deal with, well, this team got snubbed, that team got snubbed. You don't have to deal with that. Where I think is unfair is that, again, Florida State did everything they were supposed to do. You're looking at it because they're going in with a backup, and they didn't win impressively against Florida and Louisville. Really what this is a lack of respect for the ACC. Because trust me, if Alabama or Georgia or even Michigan or Ohio State if they had their backup quarterback or third string quarterback in, but they still finished undefeated and won their conference tournament, I guarantee you they would have gotten in. To me, this is a lack of respect for the ACC. That's just the way that I see it. It is. Which, by the way, Florida State wanted to leave at the beginning of the season. Well, they were talking about this 4 months ago. They wanted to leave and join the SEC. It sucks. Like I said, I hate to see. I mean, now you're looking at the matchups. Best 4 teams. You have the best 4 possible matchups. Yeah, Michigan didn't seem too thrilled to have to play Alabama, but oh well. Washington versus Texas. Okay. What you may be looking at is another Alabama title. Much as I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to put this on the Sports Plus Life YouTube. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be doing the Sports Plus Life weekly episode. And it's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. I'm out this bit. Peace. Love you.